Could you just explain to voters in Hampshire, if they want a change of government, what's the point in voting for people like Chris, Sandra Gidley and Martin up in Winchester?
You'll be told that the only choice you're allowed to have at this general election is between the two old parties, Labour and the Conservative parties. You've been let down by Labour for 13 years, and this country has had Labour and Conservative governments taking in turns to make the same old mistakes for 65 years now. Now, in Chris Huhne, in Sandra Gidley, in all the Liberal Democrats in this part of the region and across the country, what we offer is something different. Fairer taxes, so you pay no tax on the first £10,000 you earn. Smaller class sizes and more one-to-one tuition for your children. Splitting up the bank so that they can never again greedily hold your savings at ransom and hold a gun to the head of the rest of the British economy. And cleaning up the rotten politics, the rotten corruption of Westminster. You're never going to get that from the old parties, who look increasingly the same, the Conservative and the Labour parties. I think we should do something different for a fairer, better Britain, and that's the kind of change that we offer.
And if we get a hung parliament, would you be able to form a new government under Gordon Brown, help him form one?
If you, the voters, say that you don't want the Liberal Democrats or Labour or the Conservatives to have an absolute majority in the House of Commons, then it's stating the obvious that politicians will need to speak to each other. But we're being much more open with you about what our priorities are than Gordon Brown and David Cameron. They won't tell you what they will do. We are telling you now that our priorities are fairer taxes, a better schooling for all of our children, splitting up the banks and making them lend to households and businesses in this economy rather than hoard the money that you've given them to bail them out, and cleaning up the rotten corruption of Westminster. Those are our priorities, and they'll be our priorities whatever the result of the general election.